Hello there, and welcome to another episode of Tanisha Speaks. Today, we're going to be discussing walking through hard places. What does that mean for us? There are times during our assignments that we are given difficult situations to navigate within our calling, our purpose, our assignments that we have. These challenging situations are given to people. The question is, can you be assigned and uncomfortable? So, can you have an assignment and be uncomfortable and walk through that place? Well, I believe that you can and that you should be uncomfortable in your space because when we're comfortable, we become complacent, right? So when we are uncomfortable, that means that is where we have been called to walk through a particular situation that may to us on the surface seem very difficult. And it may be a reality, right? Something real that we are experiencing. But I just want you to remember to don't get amnesia when you become uncomfortable, meaning don't forget your purpose. Don't forget the reason that you are on that particular assignment. Although you may not feel like it, there is a reason that you are there. Don't forget it. And you know what? Really, don't let others make you forget it either. When we are navigating these difficult situations, they can seem very dry, very monotonous, as if we can't make it. But we can. We can make it. So, my question to you again is, can you navigate the dry place or are you going to give up? Also, can you make progress under pressure? Oftentimes, when we are under pressure, it's only due to the growth that needs to occur in us, which includes gaining tools to fill us up so that when the overflow happens, those who receive it will receive it well. Another thing is not to dwell on your emotions because that can delay your assignment. We should not be emotional leaders, emotional doers, right? Because our emotions can lead us to making some not so great decisions. And then we have to face the consequences later. So we should learn how to navigate our own emotions that will lead us to knowing how to respond in times where we're in those difficult situations or we are discussing things with others. We'll know how to respond during those times by not being an emotional person at all. We can gain the root cause of understanding what the situation is if someone is bringing us an issue or a problem or a situation, we can understand another person's emotion as well and help to navigate and guide them through. And doing that, we understand though the root cause to get to the bottom line of what the real issue is, and then begin to navigate that situation. And really, that is being emotionally intelligent, right? And learning what your triggers are and how you navigate and can navigate through those triggers, right? To a good resolution. And then be able to help someone else do the exact same thing. But this takes time to develop and to understand. But once you do that, you will become an emotionally intelligent person. And if you were a leader, that's definitely a great asset to have as a leader to be emotionally intelligent, meaning that you are not moved by everything that happens. And that's whether you are on a job, whether you own your own business, whether you work for a company, anything in that situation, whether you are in a leadership position or whether you think you're in a leadership position or not, there's always someone watching you. So we need to definitely learn how to become a more emotionally intelligent, being able to willingly identify and root out the cause, the underlying issue, gain perspective, and then share that perspective with yourself first and foremost by journaling or anything like that. And then if you're talking to someone else, being able to share it with them so that you can shed some light on like what their root causes are at the same time. But back to this difficult assignment that you may have been called to. I just want to let you know if it was easy, anybody could do it. But you were chosen to navigate it because you can't get to the other side. You can't get to that goal, that promise. You can't get to the resources. You can't get to the final product unless you navigate through it. And again, by that, I mean just navigating through those hard places. Sometimes their issues are due to things that happened in our past, right? Things that happened when we were maybe even a child or even a young adult, those things that we may not even realize those things are causing us to handle situations now that we are older, even if you're 5 years older to 20 years older. Those things, they may have had a place in our life that we don't realize. And so we really need to search our hearts for the answers, for the root cause, right? And once we do that, again, we can identify the situation and we can gain some perspective, work through it, do what you need to do to work through those things that may have been traumatic to you, or again, even things that we don't think or that we would consider traumatic. Those are, or those can be things in reality that they are traumatic, and we need to just work through those things. Having relationships with others can bring out some of those things, and we may not even know that they were deep down, they were deeply rooted, I should say. It takes a while. I mean, just think about, you may not be a gardener, but just think about, a tree, and how deep the roots are planted. If you ever had anything happen in your home, like with your pipes, and you get someone out here and they're saying it's the root of the tree because it goes so far down and deep that it takes them a long time and extensive equipment to even dig it up, right? To even dig it up. So that's what we just want to make sure that we're understanding what it is to be in our adult life and having those things happen to us, and what it means to be emotionally intelligent, emotionally available as well for people who may need you, who do need you, who need your voice. So they need, your guidance in their life, even though they may not realize it sometimes. But there are people who need you, because if you are on assignment, if you know that you have a purpose, a calling, a promise, then people are going to come to you. People are going to show up at your door, and how you respond to them. That is the key. That is the key. It is our response. And so we want to make sure that we are responding to people properly and in the proper manner. So, again, just talking about dealing with walking through those hard places, how we navigate those difficult situations, just putting to you the question of what do you look like, or what does it look like when you are navigating those difficult situations? What do you do when you want to defend yourself? If someone is coming, making an accusation against you, what do you do? How do you respond? And we really want to make sure that we're responding properly, especially when we are on our assignment. Yes, they may be talking about, your work ethic. They may be giving you a bad name or speaking against your character or your attitude, or even how you even present yourself in their presence. And I know this because I've had to navigate all of these things myself, which is why I can speak on it freely now, because I know who I am and I know where I've come from, right? And I still continue to navigate things today and how I respond to others and what my response is. So I'm always checking myself to make sure, or try to make sure that I'm responding from a genuine place and the root cause of it. Really finding out like what is the root cause of it so that I can address that and continue to work through it, because I'm on assignment. And I know in the past I have responded in a negative way, and it has caused a person to stumble, for lack of a better word, to view me in a different light because of my, response, or because of me even defending myself. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with defending yourself, but again, it is the response of it. It's how you are responding to it, and what are you leaving that person with, or that group with? Like, what are you leaving them with from their perspective, right? This takes a level of really not just being self aware, but it's also being, as I've talked about, introspective of what is really happening to me. Because the base root of most things, when we want to defend ourselves, it's pride. Let's just be real about it. It is pride. So, and realistically, that is a heart issue. That is what is in your heart. What are you feeding yourself daily? Because what we feed ourselves daily, it gets into our heart. And then that's typically how we respond to different things. This can be, again, the issues can be developed through childhood, or, adulthood, trauma, things that we've dealt with in our past, and that's come to us in our past. We may not even know that they're triggers until we identify those triggers. So now I know those things that are triggers for me, and I have learned how to I would say, hold my peace when I'm on assignment. And for me, um, there are times to when I want to say something immediately, and as I call a knee jerk reaction, and I have to hold it, again, because I have to remember that I am on assignment. I want to do things and say things in love, which is from the heart, right? I want to do things and say things that in love. Um, and then there are just times when I don't need to fight the battle, because the battle will be fought for me. Don't let pride make you retaliate. Yeah, don't make pride make you retaliate. And there are times when we do get angry, but did you know that anger is often a camouflage that hides hurt? So it's easier to admit, or no, it's easier, sorry, to be angry than to admit that we are hurt. And again, it goes back to the heart. Most of the time, we are hurt. It is not that we're angry, but let me put it like this: we're angry because we are hurting, right? And if we realize that, like, well, why am I hurting? What is it that's hurting me? Again, getting to the root cause. What was it that was said that hurt me? What was it that I saw that hurt me? What was it in my past, or in my past as well, that hurt me, that now I'm responding to this person in this manner? What was it? And so we just need to kind of like just realize that. Are you hurt because you thought, like by now you would be more successful in whatever you're doing? And are you hurt because, you didn't receive, a promotion or something? Are you hurt because, you thought that you should be treated in a different manner? Why are you hurt? Are you hurt because what you envisioned is not what it turned out to be? And that is in any arena, of your life. So again, we just really want to think about, I know I've asked a lot of questions, but we just really want to think about, how can you make the proper progress under pressure? Because I know there's times that we are under pressure, but how can you make progress, good progress, under that pressure? You want to ensure that you are responding correctly, being emotionally intelligent, and not giving other people responses that reflect the trauma that you have gone through, because you haven't done the work, right? Because in reality, we do not want to hurt others. Okay. So this is the end of the episode of Walking Through Hard Places. I really hope that you've gotten something from this. And I really hope to hear from you if you have. If you have any thoughts on it, Feel free to drop some comments. I would love to hear from you. If you want to continue the conversation, you can always do that as well. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Tanisha Speaks.